Hi everyone, my name is Kiki and this is KnitBone, which has no options, and I had to do a lot of fiddling to get it to record, so hopefully this works. Like, ooh, that's a groovy beat. Where did it all go wrong? Right, I shouldn't have had insomnia in the first place. It's not... okay. You see, after a few days with no sleep and no direction, you get desperate. If I could turn back time, I would never step through that door. My foot... Okay, let's try that again. My footsteps felt too loud as I walked. The hallway smelled old and dusty, the carpet ugly and stained. Ugh, I don't think we want to be here. My thumbs kept brushing over the card in my pocket. 1408, just like the card said. That's the room I've been trying to track down. After a tour of what felt like the world's most depressing maze, I finally spotted the door. The little brass number on it looked shiny and new. It doesn't fit in the rest. It fit in with the rest of the dingy hallway. I stopped, my hand hovering in the air. That's some top-notch lettering. I wasn't sure if I should knock. Part of me just wanted to turn around and leave. It's probably the right thing to do. I don't know what's happening, but dingy hallways and then a suddenly shiny door. I don't want to be there. Right. I told myself I'd actually show up. As I got ready to knock, a memory popped into my head. Oh. Last night at the lounge, I revealed too much to someone who was practically a stranger. Seems like the ice in my glass has succumbed to the warmth. Looks just like my life. My name's Eden, a psychology major. Voted as most likely to succeed. But that was years ago, when I had direction in my life. Now, I'm barely surviving on cheap coffee and no sleep. I changed 3 jobs in just 12 months. Hey, at least people are hiring you. Every fresh start only left me more tangled in doubt. And yeah, I ended up even more lost. I don't even recognize who I am anymore. Oh. The door opened, but at first I hardly registered it. The vibe suddenly seemed to shift, as if someone flipped a switch. I couldn't help but look. A man walked in with a sort of effortless confidence that drew everyone's eye to him. He smiled at the bartender, waved at someone like they were old friends. So he's that kind of guy, huh? He looked so put together, assertive and relaxed. And his shirt, that probably cost more than my rent, yet he wore it so casually. Everything about him was the opposite of me. I mean, he could have always wear a tight clip, but that's personal preference. He paused at the entrance, scanning the lounge like he was deciding where to sit. I should have looked away, but I didn't. And then he saw me. Oop, I just punched my tablet. Ow. And then he saw me, eyes widening as they locked onto mine. That's the sentence. He smiled. That got me holding my breath. That's an interesting star. It has a smiley face. I kind of want that as a sweater, like a real sweater. I forced a polite smile, despite my heart racing. Despite my racing heart, I can fucking read. There was something oddly familiar about him, but I couldn't figure it out. I have heard footsteps approaching me slowly. Why is he standing right here? What should I say? Hey? Hey there? Eden Cross? No way, is that really you? My confusion must have showed on my face because he chuckled. It's me! Oh god, how do you say that? Ryohei? Ryohei? Ryohei. We're gonna say Ryohei because my mouth can say that. Damien. Sorry, you might not remember me. We had that psychological elective together, remember?
Oh.
Psychological? I think you said psychology, but whatever. It's you. That hit me. Ryohei. The Ryohei Damien. We were in the same department back in college. He was popular. He was effortlessly charming. The kind of guy who made everyone feel seen, even when you probably didn't know half of their names. I never expected to be on his radar. We shared a few lectures, maybe a group project once, but I was always the quiet one. I was the guy who people tend to forget. But I remember him. God damn, I think I remember him more than I should. People wouldn't shut up about him. I've always been envious of him, even now. So, okay. And yet, here he is, sitting across from me in this nearly empty lounge, grinning like we were old buddies. He even did it without asking, like it was the most natural thing. Of course I remember you. You were basically famous, Ryohei. You made him laugh. He didn't even try to deny it. You can just call me Ryo. Thank God. I'm really glad we ran into each other again. Well, Eden, your name really does you justice. Looking splendid as always. I couldn't help but smile back. I'm not sure if I'm most amused by his outlandish teasing or by the fact that he remembered my name. I don't think lounging at a jazz club after an exhausting day is much of a splendid look, but thanks? I mean, I'd love to do that and look awesome and have a weird sweater. You look like life's been treating you well. I leave out the as always. He laughs, but his eyes narrow in. I didn't notice you're tired, though. I don't mean to offend. No, it's fine. I know I'm living dead. I laugh, trying to brush it off. My headphones are falling off my head. There we go. Insomnia, that's all. I get used to it. What a shame. And for the first time in what felt like forever, I didn't feel like a complete failure. We caught up and talked for a while. Something about his presence felt almost too welcoming. Made it easy for me to open up. It felt safe, or at least I convinced myself it was. After all, he was an old acquaintance, wasn't he? So like an idiot, I spilled everything. He listened intently. What a coincidence. He chuckled at the last word. Actually, I specialize in sleep therapy as well as cognitive consultations. Maybe I'm not that strange for feeling like I'm meant to be here with him for tonight. Maybe he feels it too. Would you pay me a visit? What? I want to see you. I mustered a smile, hoping he didn't notice my bewilderment. It'd be a private consultation. I've had my studio set up. It's okay, I've already visited doctors. I figured, but maybe I can do something about it. And if I can't, well, it's no waste of money. I'm offering it for free.
Oh.
It'll probably be in vain, but declining now that he seemed so willing to help would make it even more pitiful sight. But before I could react, he produced a card between his fingers, like it was waiting there all along. Come to my studio, whenever you're ready. No pressure. The word studio echoed in my head longer than it should have. And for some reason, I actually came. This was probably a bad idea. We hardly even know each other. It does seem like a bad idea. But we're gonna knock. We're fucking here already, so... I finally knocked on the door. The door opened right away. As if he'd been standing there the whole time waiting for me.
Hey.
Eden! He had a warm, practiced smile and said my name like he knew I would come. I had a feeling you'd arrive. Please, come in. I hesitated, but my feet started moving before I could even think about it. The smell was different inside. The scent of lemon oil and faint herbs filled the air. Okay. It felt a bit phony, like he was trying too hard to make it smell naturally relaxing. The studio was quite simple. Just a couch for me, where I see a beanbag chair, and a simple fancy chair for him. Unless this is the couch and that's his fancy chair, but whatever. My gaze drifted past a collection of arranged objects as Ryohei led me inside the studio. Soft jazz music played in the background. Please, have a seat. Make yourself at home. I sat on the couch. It was actually pretty cozy. Comfortable? I nodded. He sat on his big chair and watched me. So, Eden Cross. You know why you're here, is that right? He got straight to the point.
Yeah.
I guess so? So tell me, what's on your mind? What brings you here tonight? My mouth went dry as I finally said the line I practice. Last night, you mentioned you could help. You said you could help people with sleep issues. I told him how I couldn't sleep and how I felt like I didn't know who I was when the lights went off. That's why I have a nightlight. Well, no, that's not why, but... You listened without rushing. No interruption and no pity. Just that steady, practiced attention. Alright then, starting off with some questions. Do you have more trouble falling asleep or staying asleep? Both equally, I suppose? How many times a week do you suffer from this? I can't really remember. Maybe 5? He pursed his lips.
Okay.
Are you taking any medications? None. I see. He pauses, weighing his words before going on. His expression turned serious, as if he knows something that I don't. Insomnia and identity crisis. Sorry, that was a cream soda burp. That's a reasonable set to bring in together. Sleep and sense of self are closer than most people think. You're not sleeping because your mind refuses to let you be vulnerable. And that's why your mind won't shut down. That hit closer to home than I expected. A smile crept back onto his face. Before we go any deeper, I have a simple personality test to help me understand the shape of this weight you're carrying. It requires a bit of trust, I know, but it would help me understand. I really think you should take it. I mean, sure, I think most personality tests are bullshit, but sure. Okay, Ryo, let's do it. Good. Don't worry, it's simple and non-invasive. Just answer honestly. Alright, rules are simple. Pick whatever feels most like you. Don't overthink it, just go with your gut. First question. When you can't sleep, what do you usually do? Well, I get up to be quote-unquote productive. that doesn't usually actually happen, but even if it's 2 a.m. Gotcha. Insomnia sounds exhausting. That must be rough. Moving on. How do you usually recharge after a long, stressful day? I would like to say read a book, but I have been so unable to read, like, books in years. Probably because of the ADHD. But this is more likely. I see. How do you usually tell when someone's lying to you? Well, fidgeting isn't a sign of lying. Fidgeting is fidgeting. That's just stress. Stress does not automatically mean lying. So I'm just gonna go with I just feel it. Interesting. Okay, next one. What motivates you the most? The control. Noted. Alright, time for a little role play. Ooh, kinky. Imagine the following scenario. You're on a forest path and it splits 3 ways. What do you do? Clues. Nice, that's an interesting take. You hear a weird noise upstairs in an empty house. What is the first thing you do? Well, I would grab something nearby to feel safer, like, you know, golf club. I really wish I owned a cricket bat. I see, okay. Let's proceed. Oh shit, what? A strange kick was... What the fuck? What's wrong? Did something catch you off guard? Well, would your reaction align with your choices you made earlier? Let's continue. I don't even remember what I picked. The bar was going down. No need to dwell on it. Okay, roleplay's over. Let's get back to the test. Which compliment do you like the most? Steady and chill? Authentic and honest? You're nearing the end. We're nearing the end. Which word resonates with you the most? Balance? Which is impossible, but whatever. One final question. Which word resonates with you the most? Ethics. Congratulations, you completed the questionnaire. I'll review it and present your results now. You're not anything, are you? He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. The silence that follows feels like a test. You don't fit in any box. That's interesting. Does he say that no matter what you say? I wonder. I thought I liked predictable people. Maybe I like this more. Thanks for that. I learned a lot about you today. I've actually wanted to be close to you since college, and it means a lot to me that you're finally here now. You're starting to get creepy, dude. Shall we move on? Remember, this is just for fun. Don't take the results too seriously. Aren't you supposed to be helping me with my insomnia? His tone stayed gentle, though there was a weight behind it. Thank you. You've given me quite a clear impression. Yeah. What the hell was that? Oh, perfect. Now I'm hallucinating in the middle of this therapy. It happens. Should I just chalk it up to sleep deprivation and call it a day? What should I do? Will we bring it up? Yes? Did you happen to see that? See what? Never mind. An awkward silence settled between us. His eyes flicked up to mine. What you've shown me earlier tells me enough, more than enough. Your sleepless nights. He paused. His gaze was piercing, studying me like I was some kind of specimen. Your insomnia isn't a mistake, it's a pattern. Your mind is stuck on a loop. Regular therapy won't work for you. What your mind needs is a key to redistribute the weight. What I want to propose isn't therapy at all. Oh no, I don't like where this is going. Think of it more of a sort of guided ritual. Ritual? Ritual isn't necessarily a bad word, it's an interesting word, but that's an interesting choice of word. I will give you small, specific tasks to complete. They require precision and focus. The goal is to give the burden a new place to rest, so that your mind is finally at peace. It's an unconventional path, and it requires absolute truth. Not just in me, but in yourself. He was quiet for a moment, and then stared at me. I can't force you to do it. This only works if you choose. You can leave now, but that means going back to your restless routine. Or, you can agree to session 2! That's where we really begin. That felt like a challenge. So, Eden, what do you think? There wouldn't be much of a game if I didn't keep going, so we're gonna keep going. Mostly because I want to see where this goes. Good. Ryohei's smile deepened, as if the answer had been inevitable. Hold on a sec. He stood up and began rummaging through the shelves, his movements smooth and deliberate. Suddenly, the air went still, lingering thick with every breath. The faint, pleasant scent of lemon and herbs felt even more synthetic, like cheap air freshener. Probably is. When he returned, he was holding a small, ornate box. Let's begin session 2. His voice was lower now, a smooth, deep sound that silenced the room. The feeling of being in a safe place was starting to fade. He moved to the table and sat directly across from me. A subtle shift that made him the focal point of the entire room. Before we begin the exercise, I want to ask you something, Eden. What is your opinion on devotion? Devotion? To what? The question was so left field, I could only blink. To anything. Whether it's a person, an idea, a god. I hesitated. It felt like a trick question. My opinion to devotion was, it sounds dangerous. It depends on what you're devoted to. Blind devotion can be dangerous.
Oh.
I see. You're careful. That's understandable. He filed that away, his expression unreadable. I need to take a drink. There we go. He paused, his expression shifting into something that looked unnervingly like a confession. I used to know people who were part of a group. They were devoted to a singular idea. They believed that to truly change, to become more than what they were, they had to give up part of themselves. My skepticism must have been obvious. This had nothing to do with insomnia. This was about something else entirely. They thought of it as reaching a new level. Is this a pyramid scheme? To an outsider, their message might have seemed extreme, maybe even cruel. I don't like where this is going. He continued, his eyes searching mine, gauging my reaction. But that's what they believed. They believed true enlightenment required total devotion. And that you couldn't become whole until a part of you was given away. I couldn't make sense of what he was saying. Everything he said sounded like cult nonsense, because it does sound like cult nonsense. Good on you. and he seemed completely convinced himself. Uh-huh? My apologies, I didn't mean to bring that up. He waved a hand dismissively, the philosophical conversation ending as abruptly as it began. Now, let's move on. He opened the velvet-lined box. Inside, nestled in black satin, were 6 unlit candles of varying heights. Let's play a game, Eden. This is a focusing exercise. He lit the candles and set them on the table in a chaotic line. The objective is simple. Arrange these candles from shortest to tallest and left to right. Oh, that sounds easy. My left or your left? Without thinking, I reached for the nearest one. His hand shot out, not touching mine, but hovering just above it.
No.
There are rules. His tone was now flat, sharp, and cold. Discipline is paramount. You have exactly 5 moves. A move is the swapping of any candles. I'm going to fuck this up. Exceed 5 and the pattern is irrevocably broken. Do you understand? Yeah? I nodded, my mouth suddenly dry. My mouth is not dry. I am all spit. I looked at the candles. Oh, fuck. Left to right? Okay. If I... Oh, fuck. Oh, I physically move them. Okay, I didn't understand that.
Nice.
Great job! Yeah! I believe you're ready for the next challenge. Do you think you can sort 7 candles with 5 moves? I only have guess. Am I up to the challenge? Let's do it. Good luck.
No.
Damn. Ah! My hand froze in midair. That's 5. The pattern is now lost. Although there was no anger in his voice, there was a flat disappointment that scraped against my nerves. Before I could apologize, he reached over. His hand moves in a blur of 5 graceful, precise swipes. The candle swapped in perfect ascending line. The sheer ease of it was quite brutal humiliation. Don't be discouraged. I mean, of course it's easy when you already know the answer. The placating words were a stark contrast to the cold calculation in his eyes. He was observing me, taking notes on my failure. It indicates your mind is still noisy. Do not worry, we can still move on to the next session. Our next session requires more direct methodology. Shouldn't we take breaks between sessions? To help you focus. That will be all. The dismissal was absolute. He turned from me before I even processed it. I was left with a bitter taste of failure in my mouth. My hallucinations were getting worse, and being in this room wasn't helping. Was it all in my head, or... Your mind is still clouded. There is noise where there should be focus. Still, we shall proceed. Pass or fail, it seemed like I was being dragged into the next session regardless. I just nodded, too tired to argue.
Fine.
What's next? I have a simple question. Tell me, Eden. Are you easily frightened? I mean, I did say gah. The question was unsettling. He leaned forward slightly with his eyes fixed on me. Am I easily frightened? Depends on the context. Jump scares usually make me go woo, but not in like a frightened way, it jump scared me way, but not scared. Just a reactionary. I do fucking love a good horror movie though. No, not really. I can handle myself. I love your confidence. We'll see how it goes. He fell silent, letting the tension build. His gaze drifted into the dark corner of the room behind me. Don't look now, but I think someone is watching us. My blood ran cold. Against my better judgment, my eyes darted to the corner. There was nothing there. Ryohei chuckled, a low, unnerving sound. Relax, I'm just testing your focus. Were you expecting something? Sometimes I wonder what's wrong with this guy. He pointed to a small potted herb on his desk. It was the only living thing in the room. Let's try a different approach. What do you see there? Comfrey? What's Comfrey? I recognized the broad, hairy leaves instantly.
Oh.
Well, it's Comfrey. For the first time since I arrived, my expression softened. Sometimes something familiar from my childhood stood up feelings I thought I'd long buried. My grandpa used to call it by its old name, KnitBone. Ryohei seemed surprised at my sudden shift in mood, though he masked it with a smile. KnitBone? An interesting name. She said it could heal broken bones? But some breaks aren't in the bones, are they, even? I stayed quiet, letting his words settle in the air between us. Well, some breaks are deeper, and no herb can fix them. The irony is, in the past, people thought Comfrey or KnitBone was safe to use in any way, inside and out. But studies have shown that ingesting it can be toxic. He was talking about the plant, but my eyes told me he meant something else. His expression sour, his voice taking on a bitter, sharp edge. Listen, Eden. There are people who accept with cures like that. He looked past me, his eyes unfocused, lost in memory. Just like you, they were also searching for ways to heal themselves, mentally or physically. When they're desperate enough, they find a community that promises something more than just a fix. Their philosophy was simple, or at least on the surface. Are you here to help me or admit that you were in a cult once? To become enlightened, you have to give something away. Or are you still in that cult? They call it an offering to some cosmic entity. He let out a short, harsh laugh that held no mirth. But offering was just pretty word for ritualized murder. What? They had this twisted logic. They believed pain was a currency, that you could only heal your own wound by taking another's life. Why is he telling me this? His voice cracked, the mask of calm therapist completely gone, replaced by raw, burning anger. They would make you believe that ending someone's life was wrong. It wasn't wrong, it was a kindness. They said you weren't a killer, you were an angel taking their pain away so they could finally rest. And their death, that was supposed to be your reward. Your new weight to carry. It was all a lie to control you, a lie to break you down and own the pieces. The therapist I came to see was gone. In his place was just a man terrified of his own hands. Every word he spoke was coming at me too fast. I couldn't process it all. He stood abruptly, his chair scraping back. The outburst was so sudden, so violent, it made me flinch. But I saw it for what it was. I ended that bullshit, so I took on the burden for myself. He stared down at his own trembling hands, a flicker of something... desperation in his eyes? It's supposed to be over, but it doesn't just disappear. He stood there, breathing heavily. Is he gonna murder us? Hand molded into fist so tight his knuckles turned bone white. I started to realize he was talking about his past. Wait, was he in a cult? This guy wasn't just troubled, he was haunted. And for a second, I forgot to be scared and just felt a weird pang of pity. Should I say something? It'd be rude not to, so we're gonna say something. Ryo? Are you okay? He sank back into the chair, visibly forcing himself to be calm. I apologize. That was unprofessional. Anyways. All that was just an attempt to open your mind. Looks like it's ready, so let's use it. He opened the drawer and started rummaging in it. I just stood there, frozen. How did his mood shift so quickly? Suddenly, his words from our session about a guided ritual took on a much darker meaning. A cold dread washed over me. What if this isn't therapy? Why, he's not even trying to fix my insomnia. Instead, he's just trying to do something else. With me as his test subject?
Oh.
I found it. He took out a pendulum, a pointed crystal on a silver chain. I'm talking into my cup. It looked less like a therapy tool, and more like a ritual object. He stepped closer to me. Doubt wrapped around my mind like chains, choking me with every thought. What is he going to do to me? Ryohei edged closer behind me, the heat of his body pressing against mine. Panic surged, and I realized I was trapped. My hands shook violently, my pulse racing, and a deep primal fear screamed at me to turn back. But even knowing that, I couldn't make myself move away. As he moved closer to my ear, his composure slipped for a fraction of a second. It's okay, Eden. Then his eyes cleared and he smiled at me, his focus absolute. This pendulum will help quiet the noise in your head. Just watch the crystal and listen to my voice. Can you do that for me? Sure. As long as you're not gonna murder us. I can do that. Good. Breathe in. And out. Match my breathing.
Nice.
Great. Let's go faster.
Yes.
Excellent. Continue to focus and don't get distracted. Whoops. My breathing faltered. The steady pattern I relied on slipped away. I found myself breathing in sync with him. It felt strangely intimate. As if we were sharing the same air. Now watch. The word vanished in an instant. Everything else disappeared, leaving only the pendulum swinging before my eyes. You're so tired, Eden. It's time to let go. Let me hold the weight for you. His voice was a promise of rest, and I wanted it more than anything. Breathe in, Eden. Deeper now. Down into the quiet. The walls are gone. There is only the path. Follow it. My vision went dark. I was falling, not through air, but through myself. And then I saw it. Hi! Am I hallucinating again? A presence, huge, cold, and utterly indifferent. Felt like a web of black veins pulsing slowly at darkness behind my eyes. The pressure grew, and the thick air pressing against my ribcage and stealing my breath. The sensation was too much. A scream built in my chest, and my eyes flew wide open. I was back in the studio, gasping, with my heart thrashing against my ribs. Ryohei was staring at me. His face was pale, his eyes wide with a horrifying mixture of fear and excitement. You saw it, didn't you? His words barely registered. All I could think of was the image burned into my mind. The feeling of that thing. It was wrong. All of this was wrong. Adrenaline surged through me, overpowering my exhaustion. I scrambled to my feet, my seat kicking back to the floor. I stood up, my legs unsteady. Okay. My mind was a chaotic mess of pulsating veins and the echoes of his frantic whispers. All I wanted at the moment was to get out of this room, away from his suffocating presence. I turned towards the door, my hand reaching for the handle. I have to get out. Now. I'm leaving. My voice was shaky but firm. I took a step forward towards the door. Panic flashed across Ryohei's face. He dropped the pendulum, the crystal clattering against the table.
Hey.
No, wait, I shouldn't have. He looked genuinely terrified, as if he'd revealed a secret I could never take back. But his panic lasted only for a moment. As I reached for the door, his expression hardened into something desperate and resolute. He moved faster than I thought possible, blocking my path.
No.
Wait. His voice cut sharp, cutting through my daze. He grabbed my arm, his grip surprisingly strong, almost bruising. I turned back. The calm facade was gone, shattered completely. In its place was raw, unfiltered desperation. You can't leave, not now. You saw it too. Don't you understand what it means? That thing. He pulled me back from the door, his eyes wide and wild. He wasn't asking me. He was pleading with me. He guided me back to the couch and pushed me down, gently. A strange, reverent care in his otherwise forceful actions.
Hey.
Hey! What the hell, Ryo? He ignored my question. He moved to the table, and with the click, a lit match, and then the candles. And lit the candles. As the flames grew, the room transformed. It was no longer a studio. It was an altar. And I was the offering. He sat down across me, the firelight carving deep shadows into his face. He looked older, burdened by a weight beyond my comprehension. What you saw is not just a thing. It has a name. A purpose. It is my debt passed down through generations in my family, all under the guise of enlightenment. My uncle, Callister, he was the leader. He called their belief system transcendent. My God, that word that I cannot say. Transcendentality. The way he said the word was thick with disgust. He groomed me, not just as a nephew, but as a successor. He saw that entity as an honor, a secret burden. He taught that our bodies were temporary vessels needing purification through bloodletting to achieve a higher existence. He made it sound so beautiful, the art of ritual. But I saw what it really was, a machine for offerings. He wasn't enlightening people, he was grooming them for slaughter in order to keep the entity fed. I couldn't let him pass it on. I couldn't let him choose another victim. So, hang on, I'm taking a drink. I took it from him. The silence in the room was deafening, broken only by the crackle of the candle wicks. What do you mean? I killed him, Eden. I killed him. I plunged his own ritual knife into his chest. I thought if the leader was gone, the curse would die with him. But I was wrong. It didn't die. It just transferred. It latched onto me.
Feed me your blood.
Now I carry it. I hear its whisper. I feel its hunger. He buried his face in his hands, his shoulders trembling. That was it. The full horrifying truth. The core of his madness. He looked up and his eyes were glistening with unshed tears. But beneath the pain, there was something else. A chilling, obsessive focus. And it was directed at me. We are fucked. That's why I needed you, Eden. I've been watching you. Even back in college. What? You were always so quiet, so self-contained. While everyone else was so loud, so desperate to be seen, you were just there. But we were most likely to succeed. You were whole. You were solid. I was falling apart piece by piece, and you were a fortress. I envied you for it, I hated you for it, and I admired you more than anyone else. I knew you were the one, strong enough to bear the weight, quiet enough for it to rest. He leaned forward, his voice dropping to an intimate, almost tender whisper. The codependent plea of a man drowning. I was lucky to meet you again. I knew you were the only one worthy of this gift. The only one strong enough to see the truth. He slid off his chair and knelt on the floor in front of me. This wasn't a plea for help. This was the final step of his plan. He pulled a knife from his pocket and held it in the same vein-like carvings I saw in my vision. He held it out to me on his open palms like it was a key. Oh, he wants us to do the murdering. He wants us to be the murder person. My breath caught in my throat. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my ears. This was insane, completely insane. But looking at him kneeling there, offering me this purpose, another thought crept in. A horrible, tempting thought. He's not asking me to die. He's asking me to bleed for him, to become something else. To trade my blood for one filled with this horrible, powerful thing. What if he's not crazy? What if this is the cure for nothingness I feel every day? This gift is meant to be passed on. You saw it. I saw you. It has chosen you to be my equal. Your trouble sleeping? Feeling lost? That's not a sickness. It's just an opening, a crack to let the light in. I'm here to open the door all the way. Please, Eden. His voice was a low, convincing whisper, promising a strange and terrible secret. He was asking me to join him in his reality. Will you accept this honor? Will you complete the ritual and become the new vessel? Will you sacrifice your blood to me? The question hung in the air, suspended between the flames of the 7 candles. My heart hammered against my ribs. This was the final ritual, the final choice. What? What? No! What? Yeah, sure. What? I peered down the knife in his hands, presenting to me like a trophy. Like it was something to be revered. Like I was something to be revered, as long as I took that knife from him. Ryohei! What the hell are you doing? Get up! But Ryohei doesn't move. The knife lays on his palms, glinting in the simmering candlelight. Slowly, I reach out, unable to stop my hand from shaking as our skin brushes against each other, the handle making its way inside my loose grip. I turn the knife upside down, my heart sinking into my stomach. No, this isn't right. Ryohei isn't in the right mind, and neither am I. This is messed up. Rio, I can't. What? I thought I said it stopped. Maybe I didn't. Whatever. He's still kneeling, but his glare had shot up towards me, oozing with volumes of disgust that made me take a step back. How could someone on his knees be so full of authority still?
What did you say?
He sounded otherworldly, less a voice, more an entity. The words twisted in my throat. Panic seized me, fear freezing my blood, and for a split second I almost shifted the blade towards the flesh of my palm, ready to slice. But I snapped out of it. I pulled the knife away from my body, putting it back in Ryohei's outstretched hands. No, that's dumb. Keep the knife! No, I won't.
No.
I won't do it, Ryohei. Silence fills the room. His expression is unexplainable, an amalgamation of surprise, horror, and fury. Piping hot fury which traveled from his pinpoint pupils down to the goosebumps on the back of his hands. Then he moved. Faster than I could have stopped him. Before I knew it, he had his hand was gripped around my neck, and the other pushing the knife against my hands.
Take it! Take it!
The room trembled beneath his cries. I guess, clawing to release myself from his grip before diving a knee into his stomach. He caught off guard quick enough to drop me, but the knife was still in his hands. As I tried to step sideways, he lurched me back by my wrist, gripping me tight enough to snap bone. An overwhelming will to survive took over, and I shoved with all my knife against his towering figure. He barreled backwards into the table, knocking chairs and vases over as he fell with a thud. For a minute, all that occupied the room was the sound of both of our labored breathing, each breath feeling like my last. And then I saw the pool of red. It started from the right side of his chest, crawling forth from the fabric of his gray shirt. The handle of the ritual knife sunk deep inside of him, serving as a stem for the scarlet flower blooming from his flesh. That was poetic. His dazed eyes trailed down to his chest, hands lifting slowly to hover above the unfamiliar scene. Ha! Ha ha ha! He gurgled. A grin spread across his perfect mouth. Ryohei! As if on instinct, I slid to the floor to hold his body up. His head tilted limply against my own hammering heartbeat, as his own heart started to crawl to a stop. No, I didn't mean to. I didn't. Around us, the candles fell into a dim glow, until a cold chill snuffed their lights completely. I looked up to see veins of black and red chunks start pouring thinly from the wall, slithering like snakes towards the floor and towards me. I reeled back, holding Ryohei closer as I tried to pull him away from the vines, as if I could stop the blood pooling from his chest. Eden. When I looked down at him, tears were already building up in his ash-colored eyes. This is good. I failed to keep my voice from cracking, from my own tears climbing up my throat. Nothing about this is good. You carry it now. The vessel. His hand rose up to press against my hammering heart. It's yours now. It's you. It's a part of you. Ryohei. But I didn't want it to end this way. Ryohei choked in an obliterating affection of his tears. I saw the person he always been behind all the facades, the perfect grins, all the popularity and the wonder. I saw a small, frightened little boy. I don't want to die, Eden. You're not going to die, Ryo. I'll call an ambulance and... Carry it, Eden. His eyes flickered like a troubled candle. You are one. And then Ryohei Damien drew his last breath. Without his presence, the chill in the room hiked up to a horrible cold. I held his lifeless body against his own. Okay. Only realizing the weight of his words when it had been too late. The vessel. Veins are traveling up my leg, coiling around my skin in their grasp, urging the beginning of our symbiotic relationship. I feel everything and nothing all at once. Not even the veins burning themselves into my pore, hijacking the red lines of my eyes, the values of my heart that no longer belongs to just me. And then I draw a frozen breath.
I'm the vessel now.
And well, that was neat. Wasn't that neat, everyone? Anyway, that was KnitBone. Thanks for watching. Bye.